Ahoy, Landlubbers, it's me, your valiant Captain Vasco, and welcome back to the game room of the Dread Yacht, where once again the doors to the vault have closed, which means I can open them and find some treasure. So let's get to it. I erroneously remembered that the tech was the last door, so I apologize for making you sit through this. But here we go. We've got a bunch of gems, and I think I know who I want to give them to. And I'm going to go ahead and choose Pegasus. Reason being, there's a particular upgrade along his upgrade path I would like to pick up first, and it's not the cheapest one. But we'll get to that in just a minute. In fact, I've prepared a short montage for us in the efforts of making the episode quicker and getting to the action more readily. So, let's get to it! Alright, so in the interest of trying to streamline these videos a little bit and make the uploading process a little quicker, we're going to try some even more creative editing this time around. So, first I'm going to show off the before for any upgrades we get, then I'm going to get them, then I'm going to show off after, and that's about all. So, we're going to start with Flint, who, as usual, could use a little bit of help in the power-up department. Today we're going to get something, I think I'm going to try using a little bit more this time around. I didn't use this ability too much the first time. It's the Petrifying Breath. I forget the proper name for this. Hopefully we'll figure it out. So before, you know, you can use it and change direction and whatnot. But with the help of this new upgrade, the Cavelight Blast, we can press A while holding down our petrifying thing to do a blast of damage to any enemies hit by it. So it's pretty helpful. So as you can see, even without enemies around, we can blast energy out of our eyes while doing our petrifying attack. It's useful because it means you don't have to wind up your hammer, which is slow, and the petrifying effect doesn't last that long. So we'll see if that's more helpful to us this time around, since when I first leveled him I didn't try it very much. Next up for upgrades today is Boon. Now, as I've pointed out, I haven't actually done this upgrade path before, but I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that it gives us some new, like, upgrade combos and stuff, and that's what we'll be picking up today. So since we don't already have them, there's no real before to it. I mean, I could show you the old combo, I guess, but I can show you the absence of combo, and that's not terribly interesting. So, similar to Stealth Elf in the last game, if you join me for that one, we'll get a combo by adding X or B as the third button in our regular attack combo. The normal ones that your characters default with tend to be AAA, and now we'll have AAX and AAB. Alright, so let's try these out, because I have not done so before. So there's AAX and AAB. There you go, that's the big one. I know that the Whirlpool is supposed to be one of his most powerful moves, and it has like a separate upgrade on this path just to make that even more powerful. So that should be helpful to our efforts to fight Kaos and his minions. And of course we can't forget our friend Pegasus, who just got a bunch of treasure, so we could upgrade him as well. So let's take a look at the way his flying I-beam works right now. It's pretty cool, but you know what? I think it could be cooler. But we're not just talking rate of fire or a damage upgrade. Oh no. Get ready to check this out and have your mind blown. Or your eye blown, I guess. I think this might be my single favorite upgrade for Brawl. It's called Eye Crawlers, and basically it makes like little ally eyeball monsters that like bounce around and attack enemies every time you hit the ground with your eye laser. Perhaps it's easier to show than explain. So let's take another look at that eyeball laser, shall we? So we pop off the body, shoot a bunch of lasers around, and you'll notice that we have eyeballs bouncing around all over the place. This is really great for like big clumps of enemies and just like dealing with a lot of enemies in a small chaotic space. Something that this game does a lot of in the later levels, as I've already mentioned. And then we've got Falco, our lovable air Skylander. Currently, he's got his blaster. And we'll be upgrading it today, but I don't think this one will have a major visual difference. Let's give a couple shots, though, just to be sure, so we can compare in a moment. So we'll be picking up the Piercing Winds upgrade. This allows his blaster shots to pierce through enemies and damage more than one in a straight line. And it also slightly increases the amount of damage it does. So let's see if we can actually tell the difference without a bunch of enemies to try it on. Yeah, actually you can. There's like a little bit of a cloud puff behind the initial shot that sort of indicates that the shot is different. They're actually pretty good about making at least slight differences to tell these things apart, which is pretty cool. Well, that takes care of Falco today, which leaves only Rush for our upgrades today, and though he's last, he's certainly not least. Now we're going to be upgrading his attack 3 attack. I'm not sure exactly what to call that, but it looks like this right now. I think it's like the Comet Dash or Comet Smash, something along those lines. And, well, let's see if we can tell the difference between it and its powered-up version, which goes by the name of Super Comet, which, as far as I can tell, just does, like, a greater amount of damage and possibly a bigger area of effect. We'll see if we can figure that out in the level. Oh, and just for the sake of showing it, gonna put myself on the Pyro Pooch path right now, even though we certainly don't have enough gold to upgrade to any of these new abilities. Alright, so let's take a look at the Super Comet. Oh, yeah! Oh, that's right. So, like, you have to hold it down to get the Super Comet effect, because you can still do, like, a normal, like, speedy Comet attack. But if you hold it down, pretty sure it just does more damage. Like I said, it might do, like, a slightly greater area of effect, but not a huge amount of difference there. I do know that if you're on the other path, the Fireball path, I forget the name of that, Burning Bow Wow, I think? When you hold this down, you're shooting fireballs out of it while you're doing so. I think it might even enable you to, like, hold it down indefinitely, so you can sort of stand up there and shoot fireballs. Haven't really tried it, but that's mostly just because I really, really like his other upgrade path. With that out of the way, takes care of all of our upgrades, and I'll see you back on deck in just a second. So, now that we're all fully empowered and upgraded, I think now's the perfect time to take on Kaos's minions and flex our muscles a bit. Let's see what Flynn can offer us in the way of a destination.
Okay, so what's the expression? Second time's a charm? Ready to take another shot at going down to the drill factory?
Sadly, the expression is third time's the charm. Really hope that this doesn't go poorly yet again. We really do have to stop that drill.
Fantastic. Now, just cross your fingers we don't get ambushed again. If you have fingers.
Wow, this is quite a drill factory. Just look at the size of this place. All these gadgets and spinning thingies. Just think of the work that went into building it. I'm impressed. I mean, you still need to destroy it, but still, it's very impressive. It reminds me of me. Boom!
So, was that Flynn just admitting that he's like a robot made of cogs and robot-y bits? It's kind of weird. In any case, welcome to Drillix's Big Rig. We've made it here after the shenanigans of last time. And while this also isn't my favorite level, I don't expect it will give us quite as much trouble. Of course, those are some famous last words. Now, since we're going for collectibles as always, we're gonna take a quick detour right from the start. See this arrow here? It's meant to be a hint. Drop down here, and you'll find a winged sapphire. This will make our future upgrade purchases a little less expensive, which is nice. 2% discount, kind of a weird amount to calculate. I don't know if you guys at home are good with percentages. I think I'm pretty good, but still have difficulty tracking these things because you change it like 2% every level. You just never know how expensive things are going to be. But yes, this is a big rig. It's a big, like, tech type area. This right away introduces us to one of the major obstacles of this place, along with these conveyor belts. They sort of pair them up so that you're sort of forced to bump into these things. Now, as a proof of concept, I'm going to do something really stupid in just a moment. I'm probably going to be able to demonstrate this later accidentally. Oh, that's weird. Does it only work on giants? In the past, I've had a lot of trouble trying to get around those, I don't know what to call those stompy things, where if I touch the side of them, I still end up taking a large amount of damage. Like, those things do a pretty hefty amount of damage, like a lot of traps in the Skylanders world. So generally, I'm going to go on the record and say I don't recommend trying to get around those traps with giants for a number of reasons. If you have smaller Skylanders available, it's just a lot more convenient and generally quicker as well. Because, you know, the height is sort of a liability on something that's like trying to crush you from above. But yeah, so a lot of tech things, kind of an interesting place. I don't know. The more I look at these levels, I think the levels are generally better designed in this game. Like, there's a lot more depth and a lot more going on, but I kind of prefer the visual look of things in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. I'd love to hear what you guys think on the matter. So here we go, we got a bunch of chompies coming up the hill. I can shoot waves of fire at them. I really do love the firewalls. Maybe I'm the only one, but I sure do love them. There's also this guy called the Archean... The Crackler's the guy who makes copies of themselves. I forget which one this is. Never get around there in time to pick up that experience or treasure. So, I'm just gonna write that off. So that opens the monster gate on this conveyor belt, which lets us get a little bit further into the level. But before we do that, you may have noticed this giant wall thing. Yeah, I didn't do a great job coming up with like terminology for the giant stuff. I mean, they have feat of strength is sort of like the act of breaking into one of these areas, but I never know what to call them. Anyway, let's call on the help of a giant. How about we start with Flint?
It's crush hour.
I'm really interested to see how that upgrade pans out. Like I said, I don't think I really gave it a fair shot first time around. Alright, so let's take a step back, see if we can... Well, apparently everyone decided to kill themselves before letting me try out my move, so, you know, I guess that could happen to you. So, over here we have some treasure, and though we don't have one of those... Oh, we do actually have one of those helpful arrows hidden under the boxes. Basically, whenever you see one of those arrows near a ledge, no matter what color scheme it is, it indicates that you can fall off and find some hidden something or other. So let's get ourselves some something or other, if that makes any sense to you. Which of course means we'll have to unlock this lock puzzle. This one's got a number of moves to it, 23 I believe, so let's start with 7 lefts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then a single right. And then, get this, 6 more lefts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Puts you here, facing that clump of 3 things. Then right 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a left. Then 4 rights. 1, a 2, a 3, and finally 4. Dropping us on the last thing and solving this accursed puzzle. I do have to say, there's sort of 2 main notes I have about this level in general. One, I feel like the collectibles are probably some of the best hidden in the game in this level. There's like a lot. I missed a higher than average number on this my first go through the level, and in fact on my second and possibly even third. Like, some of them are just really tricky. Like, I totally just missed the that winged sapphire in the beginning up until I was practicing for this level even. So let's see, who could possibly need some treasure? I don't know, I'm just gonna give it to Flint, I think. I mean, I know he's already got his soul gem, which is why he's a little bit further behind in his upgrade path, but I still feel better catching him up a bit. Yeah, there's also just like a large amount of treasure in general, just like, you know how you'll sometimes find those like silver bars and things like lying around in just like a heap with like a sack of gold coins that are all worth like a fairly large amount of treasure. There's like a couple of those hidden throughout the level. Some of them not even so hidden, but that's kind of typical as well. So now we bounce back up, and we can get right back on track, or we can play this game of Skystones. Gotta be honest, I'm gonna play this game of Skystones. So I'll see you afterwards with any helpful tips I have for you. You know the drill by now. That wasn't supposed to be a pun, but I guess it was.
Yar, I snuck aboard this here drilling rig to win a little money off the molekin suckers, but you'll do just fine. Splendid. I look forward to beating you.
Stone collected.
Yeah, Krigler here is actually a pretty tough opponent, at least if you're playing through at this point in the game and haven't picked up some of the later Skystones. He's got like a fair number that have like 3 blades on one side, so it's pretty tricky to play around him. My best advice is to sort of like try and bait him into making the first mistake. So, like, let him line up his inhuman shields at the top, because he's gonna keep trying that, and then try and steal, like, the second one he plays by putting something safe somewhere else that he's not likely to steal. Kind of hard to explain, but I don't know, it's not going to take you too many tries. I actually lost once just now. I'm not sure if I'm going to show that, but I did. And managed to make a quick recovery. Took only 2 tries. We get Boulder Bowler Stone. We get an Earth Element. This is not going to be very useful. The weird thing about these is you tend to only get the Element Stone from, like, the one player who has an Element space on their board. So they're not usually that useful after the fact unless they're already a pretty good stone. Curiously, I don't think Boulder Bowler is an enemy in this game at all, so I'm not sure what that's about. But there's Skystones for you.
You beat me, Landlubber. If I may dust off an old chestnut. Yar!
Yar!
Hammer it home.
I see your yar and raise you an R, sir. For you can't out-pirate a pirate. Alright, so perhaps I can demonstrate the foolishness of using giants here now. I really don't generally recommend it, but there's just so much of this level that if you have a number of giants like I do, it's kind of hard to avoid using them around some of these. Actually, I'm going to end up having to use Flint around some later, unless I just decide not to do that, which I really think I might. Again, that's an issue for later, so, you know. Patience is really the name of the game with these. The conveyor belts, while they sort of push you into danger, they aren't that... I mean, like, you can easily walk against them, so, like, if you really want to avoid these things, you can, as long as you're, you know, kind of dedicated to it. I really hate how slowly they fall. I kind of just wish they would fall really quickly. When they fall on you, in case I managed to go the whole level without showing it, when they fall on you, they deal you a large amount of damage, like I said, and then they sort of, shoot. I don't think I'm actually damaging them through the shield, but I can seem to stop them, which might be worth noting. Oh, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. This is being kind of weird, actually. A wall of inhuman shields is one of the most obnoxious things this game is capable of. Just because, like, you really can't do anything to them. Oh, I thought that one was already dead. That's cool. Oh, come on, come on. Don't be a jerk. Be a dead shield minion thing. Eh. Goodness gracious, I hate those things. They really shouldn't be that annoying, but it's really just like their shield is like so perfect it like almost guards on the sides as well, which like that's what really makes it killer to me. I feel like I should also note, here's some of that treasure I mentioned earlier. Who needs some of this? I feel like someone else should have a crack at this. How about Yoshi?
Root punch.
Actually, Yoshi's a pretty good choice, so let's grab some of that. I feel like I should note that I sort of make this hard on myself. Like, the game isn't as hard as some of my playthroughs make it out to be, simply because I like to play through sort of start to finish. And give you the whole experience of leveling my guys up from 0, which I'm sure will only get harder as new games come out. Ugh, check out this jerk face. So, you know, we've actually seen him before in the Arena Challenge episode, if you decided to watch that with me. Why did I get stuck in place while he was doing that? That was kind of cheap. Here's some exploding vines for you, sir. He will attack his own friends, because apparently this guy's just a terrible friend, so he's an even bigger jerk than I made him out to be. But he's got like a like a medium range, but like a really long duration and, you know, reasonable amount of damage attack there. And if you get sort of stuck up close to him, you can end up taking a lot of damage really quickly. There's some Skylander attacks that sort of work like that. Hothead, if you've played with him. He's the fire giant. He has a similar attack, works approximately the same way. But like I was saying about levels, like, you know, I'm playing with like the amount of experience I've gained between levels 1 and 10 plus the arena challenges. So like, you know, if I wanted to progress through with higher level Skylanders, this wouldn't be that bad. So take all of my complaints with a little bit of a grain of salt. You know, your own mileage will probably vary, especially if you feel like playing through some of the levels more than once before progressing to the end of the story, that sort of thing. Or if you just really like one level and play it over and over, that sort of thing. There's a lot of ways that you can gain experience, And, you know, I just like to have one linear experience where you get to share my whole Skylanders thing. I might end up doing things a little bit differently for Swap Force, depending on how steep the difficulty curve is. By which I mean, like, because you're supposed to be able to play with Skylanders of any level, you know, they pull some weird tricks to try and even out the difficulty of early levels with later ones, so that you can play with level 1 Skylanders to start with. I don't know. I feel like it does some strange things. Kind of hard to explain, though. But yeah, if it gets really hard, I might just play with some leveled Skylanders. Also, I think after this game, I'll do some playing around with my existing Skylanders and max out their levels. Maybe get them some extra gold sort of thing. We'll see how that goes. For now, we'll just focus on what we've already got. So where we are now, we're in a life area. It's a pretty small one. You have this button that can change the direction of this central platform. And on the far side is a hat. I wonder what sort of hat it is. I only recently got this graduate hat, but you know what? I'm still gonna put this on. Ooh, a safari hat. It seems fitting for a life Skylander, out in the jungle. Hunting some prey or something. Let's wear it right now. There we go, plus some armor and stuff. Now getting the hat up here unlocks this little gate down here that we couldn't get into before, and guess what's in here? A bunch more, like, giant clumps of treasure. Like, there's just a lot of treasure in this level. This is one I would definitely recommend if you're trying to, you know, replay levels to get treasure, to get upgrades, something along those lines. But in case you couldn't pick up on what I was doing, so we got the central platform, it spins one direction, there's treasure on the left and right. You don't need to get it, but it's nice. And there's, like, red buttons that you step on to change the direction. The quickest way to get it to come back for you, demonstrate it again real quick, just in case, is to, you know, let it go past where you are, then tell it to go in the other direction, and that's the quickest way to get it to go to where the hat is. See, that didn't take too much time, pretty straightforward, small area like I said, it's the entirety of that life gate, and we're gonna wait for this piston thingy to fall, piston crushy guy. Oh no, I think it actually waits for you to leave, so I shouldn't do that. I got some vines for you, I hope you like them, actually I kinda hope you don't. Because I don't like you. I think you're jerks. You're always shooting at me. Why are you always shooting at me? Got some melons. Yeah, we gotta get some gold for Yoshi here so he can upgrade his melon fortress powers. Melon Maestro. What is the name of that? I always forget the names, like the technical names of everything. I do that in a lot of games, and I tend to just sort of make up my own names. Let's actually change characters here now that we're through the life gate. And why don't we, yeah, actually, Rush could use some more treasure. And guess what? There's some more treasure hidden close by. We'll start by walking the wrong way on this conveyor belt. Like I said, not too difficult to do. Just sort of hold the direction with any character, even a slow giant. And you'll make your way over here to the southern rig platform. You'll also just want to come here if you're trying to meet all of the, goodness, what are they called? The objectives for the level. But there's, you know, reasonably large chunk of change over here that you don't want to miss out on if you're going for upgrades and perhaps trying to buy all the charms or all the extra heroic challenges. Any of those would be a good reason to come back here. But we've also got a chest hidden over here. Surprisingly, there aren't any collectibles hidden over on that platform. I actually think that's kind of weird, just because, like, it seems like exactly the sort of place where you'd normally find those things. Alright, so let's perform a feat of strength. Push this over. Goodness, how long have I had the princess hat on? It feels like a really long time, but I don't think it actually has been that long. Well, anyway, we're going to get some treasure from this chest. At Golems Fortune is the name of this location. Should spend a little bit of time with Hinata today. I don't think we really got a genuine chance to try out all of her ranged moves. We upgraded last time and got, was it like better bottle rockets or something? Or did we just get bottle rockets? Well, anyway, we're gonna fire some bottle rockets. Yeah, you can't really aim them, which is kind of a drawback. But you can sort of aim the spheres, and the spheres do actually more damage than I realized. Actually, I think that was the upgrade I got last time, was to increase their damage. Oh, don't shoot me after I level up. That's such a cheap shot, because I can't move while that's going on. Doesn't that seem weird to anyone else, that you're like really vulnerable after you level up? I mean, true you get to, like, restore your health, so, like, you're not really likely to get, like, knocked out by that or anything. Still seems kind of weird to me, though. Well, perhaps we'll mess around with her ranged attacks later, since we're in a fire area, and since, again, Rush could use a little bit of help in the gold department. He and Drobot are, like, lagging behind because I used them to do a lot of fighting early on. So I got a lot of experience, but not a lot of gold, so gotta even that out a little bit. Plus, you know, don't really want to giant around these crusher things. Really hate these. This is one of the more annoying spots for them in the level. Because you gotta kind of, like, keep walking against the flow and try not to get crushed by them until you have an opening to walk through them. Oh good, another wall of inhuman shields. That's super cool. Well, I guess it's time to fight fire with fire, because that's what I'm planning on doing. Anyway, here's a firewall. I have my own wall, jerk guy. And mine's not as cheap as yours, but it sure is awesome. Oh, how the heck did he hit me from there? That was weird. Alright, fine. I'll just kill the flamethrower guy first. If he's, like, I really just don't enjoy fighting in human shields. They always irk me. And by irk, I mean they kind of bug me. They bother me and stuff. Just, like, their attack has such, like, a broad range for where it is, and, like, their protection is, like, so close to, like, perfect on the one side that, like, it's really, like, you should be able to attack them from the sides at least. Again, cheap shot at the level up thing. That's kind of frustrating. I'm in kind of a zen mood today, though, so I'm going to try not to get as frustrated as I did in the last episode. Although, again, really don't think that level's going to go that badly again until the end. Now, I will say this. This is about the point in the game I remember things getting more frustrating. Although, clearly, the last episode was no cakewalk either. Speaking of cake, I did take some damage. Might as well eat some. And I ate the pretzel, too. I didn't want that pretzel. Gotta watch my doggish figure. Alright, so now we're at an Earth area. So, of course, we will need to call on Flint yet again. He will open this up for us. And there's actually a couple of those weird purple crystals whose names I forget, because, again, I'm just really terrible at remembering proper names. Oh, by the way, so, like, also there's this. We haven't really seen these much this game. There's, like, one or two. There's, like, a life one early on. But these are, like, the old-style elemental gate openings from Spyro's Adventure. And after you do two of them basically in a row here, and after seeing them twice in rapid succession, you're sort of like, yeah, I'm kind of glad that isn't what they're usually like anymore. So, Earth Skylanders can break through these rocks without a pickaxe. No other type of Skylander really can. I think there's, like, one or two weird exceptions. But, in particular, I find Flint's, like, petrifying eye breath thing to be really good at clearing them out quickly. Except for these purple crystals, although he can break the purple crystals. Do I have to do the... I forget exactly what sets that off. I think you might have to do the gear attack. So I think that does enough quick shots in a row that it breaks it before it sort of, like, resets. Because you see, like, when you hit it, it sort of, like, grows and glows a little bit. I think, like, when you hit it again while it's doing that, with a Skylander capable of doing it, it breaks. And there aren't very many of those. I know that Crusher is one of the few. So we got, like, a bunch of, like, weird little treasure things. I can break open these purple crystals. I guess I'm gonna do that because I'm already walking towards them. So let's try to get... Yeah, if you just do his, like, gear thing attack... Yeah, I'm really good with the names. Super really good. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright. Didn't actually get much for that. But you know what? I showed you how to break some purple crystals, and I feel pretty good about that. That up. Okay. So here's the name of the game. There's a million of those stupid, stompy, crushy bits. And you have to, like, make a full circle around this place. You're gonna want to go right. You want to start by heading right. You can head left across those conveyor belts, but you're just gonna hit a dead end because there's a little drop-off on the other side, and you just can't get up it. It's one of those, you drop down, you can't get back up. So you have to go right if you're gonna make a full circle, and you do have to make a full circle. And this is maybe the worst part for the stomper things in this level. Oh, please don't land on me. Just because, like, there's, like, two, like, pairs of these stompers that are, like, set up in such a way that you just, like, have to, like, wait multiple cycles to have, like, an opening to get across safely. So you're just standing here like, yep, can I go yet? Can I go yet? Okay, good, I can. Alright, now I'm gonna press this button. Now this will start another one of these spinning platforms. There's a couple of these throughout this level, actually. I've already seen one in the life gate. Alright, fight the conveyor belt, go into the thing. We got more Stompy Crusher guy. Just kinda, so yeah, from my experience, if a giant touches the side of that, they still take damage. I don't know if it's just because they're tall or what. I don't really understand it. But that's the way it is. So we gotta wait for it to come around. We use this bounce pad to get up on top of it. Now we're gonna pick up that key over there, and that will unlock the gate at the far end, as you can see in the background there. And that's where we'll find another hat. I don't know why I decided I wanted to attack the key, but dang it, I did. Alright, so now we have to make another loop around this place. So, yeah. Oh, that's right, I never finished. I made the first point, there's a lot of treasure and it's well hidden. The second note I have about this level is that there's, like, a really kind of annoying amount of backtracking. So, for example, this. Please let me get through, please let me get through, please let me get through. Okay, good. Yeah, but so, like, you have to make, like, 2 full loops around this place. They're really time-consuming. It takes a while to get through it. Sure, you can have the new hat, Flint. You've actually been wearing Toy Soldier for a while. Also, I really like the construction code. There we go, it's all the hats for the level, plus 15 to critical hit. Honestly, you could probably use that. Although, like, speed or armor wouldn't run amiss either. So yeah, here's one of the many backtracking areas of the level. We haven't actually encountered too many of them yet. We encountered the one where I fought that first flamethrower guy. By the way, here's the drop-off right after this one. So if you try walking up this, you're not going to be able to do it. I would run into it, but I'll probably take damage from that stompy thing, and I don't feel like doing that for no reason. There we go, I made it through there with a giant without taking damage. I'm actually pretty proud of myself, because it's more difficult than it should be. But yeah, a lot of the backtracking actually comes fairly late in the level, and we'll be seeing it actually pretty shortly. Good, more stompy things. I'm really not tired of these yet. I actually am. I'm lying to you. I don't know why I would do that. It's fairly rude. Alright, so we got past those without taking damage. That's super nice. Pick up some more treasure. There's actually another, like, clump of treasure over here. Am I going to give that to you? Am I going to give that to... Actually, yeah, why not... Why not Meta Ridley? I haven't actually done much... Oh, where did you come from? Well, I'm glad I had my light core bomb to take care of that one errant chompy. Is there anything? Yeah, there's some treasure over here. Oh, and these guys. I could kill these guys, sure. One of these days I should test whether holding down the laser button or pressing it is faster. I think holding it down is slightly faster just because your thumb will get tired the other way, and I think they're actually the same speed. Alright, so now we can't go back. So I guess that's good to know. Make sure to get all the things you want from earlier in the level before you get over here. Oh yeah, this is fun. This really bugged me the first time I played this. There's a story scroll over there and like a teleporter and some treasure. Clearly I want to be in that, and there's this gate here. This gate will never lower, and you can't do this right now. So the game is just like making fun of you, I guess. Alright, so we got these moving platforms. We're gonna bounce across and get to the other side. There's also a soul gem down here. Or is this the... No, this is the lucky wheel. Soul gem is somewhere else. Soul gem is very close by, and I got them confused. I apologize. There's a lucky wheel there. We'll get that shortly. I wouldn't quite say, like, momentarily. Shut up, all of you in Fuego Chompies. Where are they even coming from? I mean, I guess this is sort of like a factory with some, like, combustion engines, so there could be explosions making little fire dudes. So over here, we will in fact find the soul gem I mentioned a moment ago. So I guess I could have said momentarily. There you go, this is Sprocket. I never really liked the character design on Sprocket, so I didn't do much research on how she works. I know she can, like, set down turrets that attack enemies, or something along those lines. And she hits people with the wrench, and I don't really know her other stuff. I think the soul gem boosts... No, it does something with landmines. I thought it did something with turrets. Well, I'm just wrong again. It's not preview. So there's some treasure over here, and we're not done in this weird little side drop-off alcove. Actually, I should make a note if there was actually one of those helpful arrows here, because I don't remember if there is one. But we'll go in this cave for now, and we could talk to this Molekin and he'll explain this fairly simple puzzle. So these two platforms start out moving in exactly the same way, and we sort of want them to be at opposites. I think I screwed that up. Yes, I did. Alright, a little bit further. There we go. Alright, so we want them to be at opposites so that they'll meet in the middle. Because the way we're going to want to do this is bounce across to the first one, then wait till it rotates around, and then walk on to the second one. So I will demonstrate. We're on the first one, going to rotate around, and now that I've gotten them at opposite rotations, they'll meet up in the middle and I can just walk across. This will lead us over to a treasure chest, which is great because Ridley could use some more treasure. I don't know what that voice was just now. That's fine. Okay, so we're going to mash this open, mashity, mash, mash. It's going to spew out a bunch of treasure, and some of it's going to fall to the next level, just so I can't ride the thing back, probably. There we go. Yeah, 30 gold. Yeah, I'm going to jump down for 30 gold. And, again, just for the sake of clarifying, so the right button here changes the rotation of the further one, and this changes the near one. So, you know, you just sort of mess with those until they're sort of at opposites, or you can try and actually have them meet up in the middle if you're having trouble picturing exactly what you need to do. Gotta wait for this to come down a little bit so we can bounce on top of it, and then we can get back to where we started. Sort of. So we've started the backtracking formally, is what I'm saying to you. There isn't actually one of those helpful arrows, but there was a trail of coins leading down here, and also like a hole in the guardrail, which is usually an indicator that there's something hidden there. So we can't get into that just yet, so we'll have to bounce across these bounce pads. There's a lot of bounce pads and things over here. There's another secret bounce pad that we will have to kill some enemies to clear. But curiously, there are no enemies around here. We'll solve that mystery in a minute. For now, let's drop down here and ride the conveyor belt over to this button. Bunch of treasure. So much treasure in this level. Like, just look at it. Look at all of the treasure I've picked up. I can't even handle all this treasure. I think I'm gonna give some more to Rush. The thing I really don't like about the levels with heavy backtracking in Skylanders is that when there is heavy backtracking, there tends to not be a lot of level, and like there's just not enough space for me to like play with all my Skylanders, and I like to do that. I don't know, I'm weird. I'm also whining right now. But we picked up that lucky wheel of power that was hidden there before. Pressing that button at the end of the conveyor belt opens both that treasure compartment and this thing. So you gotta backtrack over to here. And then you can bounce back up. You get a little bit of a shortcut there, which is nice. It'd be kind of lame if you had to go all the way back to that far side and do this weird jumping puzzle thing. Alright, Rush has a bunch of experience, a fair amount of gold. Let's tag back to Hinata, because we will have use for a giant and possibly some ranged attacks, even. Oh, I don't need to go down. I don't know why I did that. I have to bounce back across, and I may have screwed this up already. No, we're good. We're good, apparently. What I need to do is go down this way, this ramp where I picked up those coins earlier. So we have to clear out all the enemies to get that bounce pad. Still aren't any enemies. This is maybe the only time that happened in this game. Might happen in one of the like last levels. It's certainly uncommon for an enemy bounce pad to work that way. Also, you'll notice we've got a giant drop cracked spot in the floor, and there's no obvious way to activate that, at least not from where we've come from. So really the only place left to go is through this locked door. Alright, so let's start with 3 rides. 1, 2, 3. Then we got 5 lefts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will drop us in the red. We got 3 rights. 1, 2, and 3. Then a single left. Wow. And 3 rights. 1, 2, and finally 3. This will drop us through this and then into the other one. And that gives us a perfect score. Boosh. That is sweet. Actually, you know what? Come to think of it, there's some more treasure in here, but it's actually not that much, so I will just let Hinata have it. for the sake of not constantly switching Skylanders. I don't know if you guys constantly switch Skylanders. I find myself constantly switching Skylanders. That's why I get bugged sometimes by how long those intro animations last. Like, they're cool. I like seeing like the characters show up and flex and do some jumping around and stuff. So now we've activated another jumping puzzle, but we'll still need that first jump pad, which will require us to clear all the enemies, and I still haven't found any enemies over here. It's weird. Don't you just tell me that the button does that?
You did it! Hey, and when you see the drill, give him a good whack to the vocal circuits for me, huh?
Oh, yeah. By the way, all the various characters, I haven't really talked to them because there isn't actually a lot of useful information. They all basically say the same stuff for the most part. They will all hint at the fact that the drill likes to sing, and he's practicing a song and stuff along those lines. So, that's interesting, for those of you who don't know what he's like. Uh-oh, another monster gate, but oh no, now there's monsters. It's the Crystal Golem. We've seen him in the arena. Again, if you joined me for that bonus episode. Oh, this was probably a mistake. Yeah, the bottle rockets aren't that great, to be honest. But I do like the orbs, so I'm still sort of on the fence about which of her upgrade paths I like more. The swords have more raw power, but they already have more raw power, so I think I like giving her the flexibility of the path that we're on now. So basically, in case you didn't see me fight that guy before, the attack pattern with this guy, he has a bunch of gems surrounding him, and the gems basically protect his health as long as he has at least one of them. Your attacks do like 1 or maybe 2 damage to him. He's like really resilient. So you sort of have to like circle around him attacking the crystals, and you want to circle him because if you don't, then he's very likely to hit you with either his melee slap attack or to launch like a series of like stone pillars into you, and those both do a fair amount of damage. And then once you break all the crystals, then you can attack him normally, and he's basically just like any other enemy at that point. There's some food. I've actually managed to take relatively little amount of damage in this level, which is why I definitely enjoy it more than the last one. I have a very hard time not taking damage in that level for whatever reason. Mostly the cramped spaces with the bomb guys. Basically, we can conclude from my ramblings over various episodes that I'm like Skylanders claustrophobic. I don't like being smashed into a small space with giant enemies, which they really like to do later in this game. Anyway, here's our friend Auric.
Stocking up before a big battle? A fine idea indeed. Pick any item you wish to purchase.
It is a fine idea, and in fact, we are very close to a big battle. Although, again, I prefer to save my gold for other stuff. We got some hats that we had in the last game. Definitely had combat hat. I'm pretty sure we also had beret. I think all the ones you buy in the shop come from Spyro's Adventure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, because I'm not sure. I think like the most expensive hat from Batterson might be an exception, but I think all of them actually are. There is a charm here. It says it helps Skylanders battle large enemies. I don't actually know what that means. Maybe I should have looked that up. Maybe I could put it in an annotation here for you. But it does cost 25,000 gold, which is a lot of gold. So you probably don't have that much, unless you're, again, just sort of replaying levels for fun or experience or gold, even. The rest of the shop's pretty standard. We've got like a fairly subpar Skystone for probably too much money. But the main selling point here is this charm. If you're collecting the charms or you want whatever ability that is, I don't know what it does. But now we can use this giant drop to, guess what, backtrack through the level somewhat. Whee! Smash! Oh, we got another chest. I don't think I want Hinata to have that. How about... Actually, the Boon has not had the opportunity to get much treasure or do much of anything in this level. Got a leg cramp. It's not comfortable. Okay, let's smash this open. He currently has 83 gold, so I'm sure he could use a treasure chest. There we go. Get all these. And we're close to having all the collectibles, but you might note that we're lacking in 2. I think we have 2 left over at this point. The Story Scroll and the Legendary Treasure. And they will both be found in the Shrine of the Silver... Just kidding. They're in the same spot, though, in the level. Basically, like a screen apart. We'll see that momentarily. So, get to backtrack slightly. Alright, and yet again we have the rest of the level locked off. I forget if that happens after you do the giant jump, or like when you cross this the first time. I think it might actually be the giant drop that does it. In any case, if you follow along, you'll be getting all the collectibles, so it won't really matter all that much. Now we're at the apex, and do you see what I see? It's one of those helpful arrows. Now be careful not to go up if you're trying to get all the collectibles, at least not right away, because that'll take us to the end of the level, and there won't be any coming back. Alright, so we got a story scroll. Terrific. I love that the conveyor belt pushes you into it. I enjoy that sort of thing. Nice try, Kaos. Alright, Eon, let's see what it's about.
One of Kaos's first attempts to take over the world did not involve force at all. He simply built statues of himself and placed them throughout Skylands. He figured if he placed enough, people would just assume he was ruler. The trolls, however, found a completely different use for these statues, covering up secret teleporters.
This is, of course, a hint for the troll home security, and I've already shown that statue. If you'd like to see it, you could, go back and check out that level. Otherwise, you can see how I take on the end of this level, because we're almost there. Alright, this is the last area found, so clearly we will get the last of the missing things. Oh man, I almost fell off that platform. Alright, so there's two buttons, one to the left and one to the right of this room. You'll have to hit both of them in order to be able to cross and get to the legendary treasure. Pretty sure this mole just explains basically how that works. There's buttons and do that and blah. Oh god, giants and jumping. It's awkward. Alright, both buttons pressed. That raises these two platforms and makes a little path you can cross. Because the middle platform, the one that's moving in the background there, it will take you up to the ledge of those two pillory sort of things. But if you don't raise both of them, then you won't be able to get all the way across. You'll fall down and you won't be able to get back up. But here's the legendary treasure. It's the propeller engine. Don't really know that that does anything particularly interesting. Like I said, I only recently discovered that any of them did anything particularly interesting, and that's I think it's called the Dragon Engine. The one that puts little wings on the side of the ship and opens up the Hatterson shop. In any case, that's all the things. We have all the collectibles now, so we can teleport back up. And we can face our challenge for the level. Wait for it. Wait for it. Actually, what is happening? Glitch? There it is. That was weird. That should have happened much sooner. Bring it on, Drillix. Yeah, so, meet Drillix. He's the boss of this level. Real quick, gotta smash this. Alright, so, I'll explain why that was so important. There's an achievement for that, actually. Oh god, leave me alone, laser. I don't like his laser. His laser is maybe the most annoying thing he does. The laser! Okay, we're good. Alright, so we have these two pipes lying around here at the start, and like there will be a green area hidden behind them which won't get blasted by debris immediately. Although when you're a giant, you're sort of so big that's kind of hard to avoid. But you can pick them up and smash them into them, and then you get an achievement for that, and it does a whole bunch of damage as well, so that's super nice.
You don't stand a chance, Skylander. Even though you wore that round, 'cause my power won't drop and my driller won't stop until the city of Arkus is found.
So yeah, as all the Molkin have pointed out in the past, this guy likes to sing. He's, I guess he's sort of a pop techno singer because he's got auto-tune going on. Alright, so let's, I find that fighting him is probably easiest with someone who has like a wide range attack. Again, I use a hothead when I'm like practicing levels. There we go, that's a nice dodge. Pretty proud of that. Oh, fire's back. This drill is actually fairly hard to avoid, in my opinion. You have to bounce, and you have to do it kind of early, because otherwise you'll sort of jump into it, and that's not very useful to you. Where did this inhuman shield come from? I don't remember them being here, ever. So yeah, you sort of just gotta like dodge his attacks back and forth and take the opportunity when you get it to mash his drill arm. So that's sort of it's his weapon and his weak spot, which is actually kind of a terrible strategy if you ask me. You probably don't want to be hitting people with your weak spot.
On time out, Skylander. There's something up with my drill. But you better watch out, you'll be down for the count when I show you my smashing skill.
Alright, so now you gotta watch out. These things are gonna shoot like fire blasts in every direction. It's kinda hard not to land on one of these bounce pads, which are actually super annoying at this point in the fight. Anyway, yet again, he sort of like makes an attack, you try to dodge it, try to watch out for the lasers, I hate the lasers! I don't know what that noise was, but it is my feelings. My feelings are that noise. This is probably the point in the fight where a giant is least helpful to you. Okay, more fire things. Okay, great, I actually managed to avoid it. And you can hit like any part of the drill, it doesn't actually matter, like you don't have to like hit them all equally or something to wear him down. Oh god, the laser started like right on my head. Oh, please go away. I don't like it. How did that catch up to me so freaking fast? It's really lame. Yeah, so let's see, are there any other major talking points about Drillix here? I mean, his name is probably a pun on the, there's a popular musician called Skrillex who does some techno stuff, and he's got similar kind of music style to what you hear when you're actually, like, fighting him, like at this point in the fight. I hate the lasers so much. Where are all these inhuman shields coming from? Don't approve of it. And he just keeps doing the same thing over and over. Like, this is the one part that, like, ruins this fight for me. Because, like, otherwise, I think this is, like, a really cool, interesting boss fight. And you know after the first game I wanted more of that. And, like, the first part of this fight's cool, and then, like, it gets all, like, claustrophobic again. Like, it's not a lot of space to walk around, and he has, like, 3 lasers, and it's really hard to avoid all of the lasers. And where are the inhuman shields coming from? I really don't remember any of them being here. Let alone, like, a whole bunch of them. Now, you can try and bounce to get over the fire things, but like I find that more often than not, you're simply just gonna land on the fire things, and it's not that useful.
What did you do, Skylander? You just want the final round. I can't keep the beat on. And our systems are all shutting down.
And there we go, that's Drillix's big rig, his giant drill drilling towards the city of Arkus, and we've shut it down. So I'm not sure what Kaos plans to do next, but I guess we made sure that Drillix sang his swan song. You get it? It's an old myth that swans sing a song before they die, or something. I don't actually know what that's about, but we're done here, so let's see if Kaos is finally just gonna put his plans to rest now that we've stopped them.
You know, who really needs a giant drilling machine anyway?
I thought we did. How else will we get to the city of Arkus?
Easy, fool! I have a new plan. Something so deceptively simple yet cunningly ingenious that even you can't bungle it. Observe my superior strategic mind at work. Robot, how do we get into the lost city of Arkus?
I'm so glad you asked, Emperor Kaos. There's a secret entrance into the city. Naturally, I will take you there if it pleases you.
Oh, it does.
Blowing up the drill bought us some time, but Kaos will eventually find another way to that lost city of Arkus.
Oh, great. We don't even know where it is. We're doomed.
Not necessarily. We can still beat him there.
How'd you figure on doing that? Magic?
Actually, yeah. One of the Molkin workers told me about some mystic oracle that lives near his village that will answer any question you ask. So if we can find him, he might be able to tell us how to get to Arkus.
Oh, Callie, you have done it again. But what should we ask him when we find him?
Oh good, the Oracle. Definitely been looking forward to that one. The Oracle is actually many people's favorite level, at least from what I can tell, and it is a pretty cool level. The only problem is trying to like showcase every part of it is definitely going to be a challenge. Anyway, I actually enjoy that level. The first time I had trouble because I was trying to use like giants around the stompy things, and it's really hard to get the timing on those, but I think I finally got it down. The only other problems I have are that claustrophobic bit at the end of the boss fight, which I still find kind of frustrating, to be honest. And just all the backtracking, because this is actually taking a lot longer than it should. So, I'm gonna see what new turret game we have, and then we're gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this, and I hope that you will try out some of my other videos and see if you enjoyed them as well. If you have, you know, leave a like or a comment. That's always nice. I love to hear from you guys. And otherwise, well, I'm gonna do my best to come up with a strategy for showcasing every cool thing about the Oracle level. And again, it'll be a challenge. I'm also going to do my best to really, like, catch up to speed. It's taken me longer to get through this series than I expected, and quite frankly, than I would like. So, I'm going to try and speed things up a bit. I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to make any promises at this point, but hopefully we'll get through it. And we'll get through everything without making any compromises, because I really want to show you guys the whole Skylanders experience, and I hope you guys are enjoying that. And again, I'll see you next time, because I'm sure you're excited to meet the Oracle. He's quite the character.